Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon, or rather I'm talking about their movies, shows, merchandising, programming, whatever the case may be, I guess. So here we are. I'm going to be talking about Star Wars, something Star Wars related. Well, I have to sneak Star Wars in here somehow, I guess. I guess more specifically, it's defending Star Wars, I suppose. Again. So, it's in regards of this individual whom I spoke about again in this video because I've previously spoken about him before because he seems to have a grudge against the Star Wars sequel trilogy because it's too woke. What the hell do you mean by that? I don't get it. That's the thing I never understood with a lot of people. These movies were always political. They were always it was already woke. Okay, this is so. It was already political from the very beginning, from the original trilogy. What have you been smoking? Christ. It just comes off like falala, falala, I'm not listening, falala, I'm not listening, falala. Oh boy. And of course, he does have a grudge against Disney because for the same reason. Because it's not how it was like when he was young, when he was a kid. Same thing with Star Wars. It's not like how he was a kid, even though technically he was. And same thing with Disney. Disney was always already political. So what are you talking about? So for this, it's really short. He did like a little thing here, suggesting how he could have fixed Disney's Star Wars, specifically the prequel trilogy, not the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy. What the hell, man? I'm already regretting this. This is already stupid. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Uh, my faith in humanity, I guess. It's always fading. Anyway.
Rachel says, hello, Ben. After they finish this current Star Wars trilogy, do you think Disney will keep making more Star Wars movies?
First of all, yes, I hope so. And second, they were already making out like a ton of TV shows. So there was that.
Do you think some Old Republic movies would be better or something sometime after these?
What the hell are you talking about? You're the very people that were complaining about the politics in the first place. What?
If I were Disney, okay, so here's what they will do.
Well, if you were Disney, you would just ruin it. I mean, granted, it was already ruined because of the Star Wars prequel trilogy, but that aside, and you're gonna only suggest on what you want to do, not what the company's gonna actually do. So what you're about to say next is not really legitimate, really.
What they'll do is they will launch a whole series of movies with Rey and Finn and...
Again, what are you talking about? The cast said they didn't mind coming back, but that doesn't mean they will.
Oh, and all the characters you've come to know and be lukewarm about.
Well, you can't speak for me because I actually do like the characters. So it was definitely more than lukewarm, so yeah.
But...
Ooh, he said but. Ooh. Okay, I know that's not what he meant, but I'm just being childish here. Anyway.
What should they do?
The exact opposite of what you're gonna say. Because it just sounds like suggestions of anything, so...
What they really should do...
Back in my day, women stay in the houses and be housewives. Make me a sandwich, bitch.
Is they should pretend none of this ever happened.
Ah, Jesus Christ, who didn't see that coming? You're just mad because Disney made it. That's it. They're not that bad. I'm sticking by that as well.
They should pretend the prequels didn't happen.
Well, yes, the prequel trilogy, these are still some of the worst films ever made. They're that awful. But the sequel trilogy is actually pretty good, though. Not perfect, sure, but still good, though. But yeah, he's definitely one of those individuals like, stop living with nostalgia. That's all he wants. He wants the original trilogy to be exactly the same. All the movies that you realize they'll get boring, right? I hate nostalgia.
They should pretend the sequels didn't happen.
Again, they weren't that bad. They weren't that bad? No, they weren't that bad. Sticking by that too, whether you like it or not.
They should recast Han. They should recast Luke.
You're just toxic. That's what this is. You're just extremely toxic. Oh no, they're different from the other movies. Oh no. Well, kind of different, but still. Come on, give me a break. This is stupid.
Recast Leia, and they should pick up right where Return of the Jedi left off.
Okay, Mr. Stuck in the Past. They already did that. In the lore. In the books and whatnot. Let your nostalgia go. Christ. And by the way, the sequel trilogy is already based upon said lore. So what are you talking about? See what I mean? Nostalgia. Nostalgia. You realize that the franchise can become rather stale because of this, right? Boy, this nothing here makes any sense, like at all. I already get this. This is dumb. And while I was thinking by my statement because these movies are still terrible, but yes, they did try to do something different. The prequel trilogy did in fact attempted to do something different, but you fans still complained.
That's what they actually should do, because those are the characters that you like.
Don't tell me what I can and can't like, you gaslighting son of a bitch. And again, nostalgia.
And they've already shown that they can recast Han.
I think I might see the sequel trilogy again just to piss you off. But besides that, you realize the actor who played Han Solo didn't really like the character because originally he wanted the character to die. It was in the original trilogy.
Alden Ehrenreich did, I thought, a creditable job as Han Solo in the latest Solo movie, which I actually enjoyed.
Oh, there's your nostalgia again. While yes, his compliment to this film is in fact positive, well, it's sort of out of nostalgia, but that doesn't mean anything because there's an underline of negativity along with the positivity right there. It's a form of manipulation when you think about it, because he's trying to give a compliment just so he can make it seem like what he's saying isn't so bad, which yes is in fact gaslighting. And yeah, I see what you're doing there. I've been around with assholes long enough to recognize this. So what you're saying right there isn't really genuine, like at all. Oh Christ. Yeah, like I just said a moment ago, they took some inspiration from the lore for the sequel trilogy. You call yourself a Star Wars fan, you think you would have known that. All right, because you haven't done your research. I've said this before in other videos.
I think that what they should have done is just picked up afterward. They shouldn't do prequels for characters that they. The problem with Solo, the reason it didn't do well, is because, spoiler alert, in Force Awakens they kill Han Solo.
What are you talking about? He also died in the lore as well. Again, you would have known that. And Han Solo wasn't that bad either, really.
In the worst, stupidest possible way.
Ah, Christ, there you go with the damn gaslighting. There you go. Again, he's just exaggerating. I thought it was fine. Again, the actor wanted the character to die off ages ago anyway. So he finally got his wish fulfilled. So there you go.
Thereby destroying my childhood and making him
Stuck in the past. 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 Stuck in the past.
divorced loser dad murdered by his son.
Oh no, I actually enjoy the movies. How dare I enjoy something that you don't? Wah.
Okay, it's a terrible, terrible way for Han
Oh my god, he died in the books too. You would have known that.
Solo to go. Then they decide, you know what? Let's make a prequel about that guy.
So what if they did a prequel afterwards? So what? Like George Lucas didn't do any prequels. By the way, he actually the character died too in some hypothetical situations, and he was like blind in some scenarios as well, and they built a story around that.
Well, why would I want to watch a prequel about a guy whose end I already know?
I don't know. Maybe it's because they like these characters and the babies.
That's ridiculous and silly. It doesn't make any sense.
But maybe it does though. And you're just a nitpicky asshole who can enjoy nothing.
What they should do is they should just the only good.
Ah, Jesus, you haven't given anything legitimate about anything.
Really, the only good movies in the Star Wars canon are Rogue One, which has very little to do with anything outside of the original trilogy.
Except that it does, though. And that's your nostalgia speaking. So I'm going to be saying stuck in the past, stuck in the past.
And makes very slight reference to some of the prequels.
Again, even if you're saying something positive, it's still gaslighting. Oh, boy.
And they should.
What's with the negative response to this? You haven't given any constructive criticism towards anything.
So keep Rogue One, keep the original 3 movies.
Oh boy, see, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about when it comes to just thinking about nothing but nostalgia. I mean, insert bursts is fine, I guess, but it can't be toxic. If that's like literally the only thing you keep wondering about because you misses so many past experiences. Like, for example, let's say he never peaked beyond high school. He peaked in high school. And there's some people that did peak in high school. Like, they will remember their high school thing, like football and whatnot. I keep talking about it even like maybe like 10 years afterwards.
Dumb. If you want to keep Solo, fine.
Christ. There you go with the gaslighting. Emotionally manipulation there. Look at me. I can't let go of the past because I'm obsessed with nostalgia.
Dump everything else. Pretend Force Awakens never happened.
Okay, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Pretend Last Jedi never happened.
It was my least favorite of the three, but I still enjoyed it.
And take Kathleen Kennedy's resume and burn it on a funeral pyre.
But that's really disrespectful. On a funeral thing, she's one of the women who worked in these movies, by the way, and that's where his little thing ends. His little tangent, I guess you can say. So that's what this is about. Because a woman was helping to make these movies. You realize she didn't exactly direct it, right? She was helping, yes, in one shape or form, sure, but she didn't direct it. Okay, so that's what it is. That just because a woman had some sort of involvement in some shape or form in the production of these movies, that's what this was. Oh well, you're a conservative Christian, so I'm not surprised. What is with these Christian nationalists acting like this? Oh no, a woman is in the business of filmmaking. In one way or another, anyway. In one shape or form. That's what this is. Are you kidding me? What? That's ridiculous. So what? So what? So so what? Again, he's just stuck in the past. That's all this is. He's stuck in nostalgia. Oh boy. But yeah, you realize that the Princess Leia character was inspired by strong women, right? Again, you of all people would have known that. How is it that you can call yourself a Star Wars fan, but you don't know a whole lot about it? Not really. Well, at the very least, you're ignoring, even if you know about it, you're probably most likely just ignoring it, which is probably the case here. You're just ignoring certain aspects of it. I'm not even a Star Wars fan, like at all, whatsoever. And I still think it's full of shit. Ugh, this is so toxic. It's really toxic.
This assumption that because we have pleasant memories of something, that it was always good all the time. A desire to get that back ignores all the good that's come since then, as well as all the bad stuff that was there too. And it poisons you, making you more susceptible to deception, to your own greed. Who's to say that your own past is more important than someone else's future? And because you want something that may not have been real at all, the farther the goalpost gets, because you can't really reclaim it. So it just gets worse and worse, and you get greedier and more desperate for it, because what you really want is never going to come. Until in the very end, you become the thing you hated in the first place. You become more concerned with chasing some imaginary feeling that you forget where you are, and that you can create real, attainable goals right now.
And yeah, that's a great summary there. Just because they have new characters, or at least some of them are new anyway, that doesn't mean that's not enough information to say that these movies are bad. How are they bad? Of course, he never gave any kind of explanation on how exactly that is. How specifically does this go into what you're saying, really? Not wanting for these films to move forward, you realize that in itself kind of what causes movies to fail in the first place. I can actually give a prime example here if I wanted to, and I will. Oh boy. Okay, before I go into the thing I'm about to say, which will be in a moment here. If I had to give any criticism to these movies, even though I do like them, it's that okay, we have the First Order, right? And then we have a separate thing called the Final Order in the third film. Basically, these two things are just the Empire all over again. The Empire, the Empire, the Empire. You just keep finding the Empire, the Empire. Even in its lore and the video games, the comics one, that the Empire, the Empire, the Empire, Empire. Just can we just move on from that? Yeah, I kind of have the same problem with the Godzilla films, specifically the Millennium series, because this is basically playing tribute to the Godzilla films from the 1960s and 1970s. Which I can say the studios are kind of embarrassed by those films, but won't let them go. So yeah, it kind of seems like a contradiction in some ways. And one of the more recent films is because like King of the Monsters. Okay, it's kind of recent, but still, it just reminds me of a film that already happened. Again, from the 1960s. And then this happened kind of again in a follow-up film. Ugh. Christ, I mean, really? And again, just keep trying to play homage to those old Godzilla films over and over and over again. Another example is this one from the 1990s. You know, I like those films as well, really, but still, come on. It just reminds me of this Godzilla film as well, when I think about it. And, but also the title of King of the Monsters is a title that's already been used already. Yeah, so that makes this pretty confusing when you think about it. Well, what do I mean? Easy. I'm referring to the bastard version of the original film. It was also called King of the Monsters. That was released in the 1950s. This is dumb. It's really it's really dumb when you think about it. But okay. Oh yeah, and the whole oh yeah, don't forget about this one. We already had this. We already. I mean, yes, the story is different. Sure, the plot is different enough. But we already had these two characters fighting each other. That already happened back in the 60s. That already. Oh man, come on. Uh, this is dumb. Oh yeah, and the whole Mechagodzilla thing. Yeah, that already has happened quite a few times already too within the series. Starting with the one from the 1970s, 1974, and then this character made a return in the 90s, which of course reminded me of another one as well. Again, the 70s. Oh boy. And the thing is that I just have to say,
So let it go.
yeah, really, I can say the same thing with these movies. The Empire, the Empire, the Empire, the Empire, the Empire, the Empire. But yeah, folks, it's Christ. I mean, okay, to be fair, I can say the same thing with the Nintendo. They're pretty much capitalizing on nostalgia. Not that I have anything against capitalism or anything, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. And they're making quite a bit of money off of that as well, when you think about it. But alright, folks. Yeah, it just comes off, yeah, nostalgia. You're just trying to relive something that happened way back when during your childhood and whatnot. And just know. Yeah, Star Wars gonna be. That's definitely the Star Wars fans here, folks. Definitely. I know that's funny coming from me for using the Star Wars game footage in the background. I'm just saying. All right, folks. I guess that'll be it for now. Boy, just Christ, that's just a lot to get into. But anyway, of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.